What's up? Was watching Hitchens versus Craig debate, and Hitchens brought up something, and Craig kind of skipped over it and didn't really address it, and probably actually misunderstood what Hitchens said. And I figured that I would make a video about it because it seems to be a common theme among theists, something to misunderstand. Um, and it basically goes with the assertion of atheism, um, and which I've had a little bit of trouble wrestling back and forth with, as with my arrogance and agnosticism video, trying to really define the difference between agnosticism and atheism, which I guess I am still working through. I mean, uh, one of my good friends once told me something to the effect of, if you're not always changing your beliefs, then you're doing something wrong. You always have to be adapting to new thoughts and new horizons that you didn't think of before. And so here's what I think about it. So one of the big things of atheism is um, simply asserting that you can't provide evidence for your God. Um, Now, this runs into two main arguments, and that is that I can't disprove your God, and that the other one, which Craig uses, which is just a horrible argument, that says the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Thank you, Mr. Cheney, for introducing that to America. Okay, so anyways, what you're running into here is a fallacy of negative proof and an argument to ignorance. A fallacy of negative proof comes with the fact of I am not able to disprove God. Well, that may be so, but I'm not the one making the assertion. I'm the one saying that all physical and visible phenomena either can be explained, or we can find some understanding to explain it, or attempt to explain it in a secular way. Whereas you jump to your God. So that's the negative proof fallacy of trying to make me disprove your assertion instead of you proving it. And then there's the argument to ignorance, which is the absence of evidence. It's not the evidence of absence. That's one of those things where, well, if I can't disprove something, then it must be true. So I'm going to relate this in terms of a tooth fairy, because it's my assumption right now that you probably don't believe in the tooth fairy. So let's assume that I do believe in the tooth fairy, and I say to you that, of course, that there's a tooth fairy, and you say, oh, well, there's no way that there's a tooth fairy. I don't believe in one. And I say, and then you say, or I'm sorry, I mixed up my semantics there. I would then say to you, well, prove it. Prove that I am wrong. And here's the problem that this runs into. Since I'm making the extraordinary claim that this tooth fairy exists, I need to provide proof. And not only do I need to provide proof, but because it's an extraordinary claim, I need to provide extraordinary proof. Since there's no tangible proof to something like this, I have to come up with arguments that cannot be refuted, and that point directly to the existence of the tooth fairy. So they must be explicit, not implicit, and it must not infer other assumptions and fallacies and things like that. The burden of proof here is on me. So, in essence, your assertion of a God, to me, is like a tooth fairy. So, and then with the argument to ignorance, with the absence of evidence, being therefore proof of it, or being proof of it existing because you cannot disprove its existence. You can say the same thing about a million other things. Flying spaghetti monster, for instance, or that's a fun religion. You should check that out if you ever have a chance. Another good one, Googleism, is hilarious. Um, and also the famous thing of a teapot floating around either Venus or Mars. I forget which one it is. But because you cannot disprove it doesn't mean it's true. So there's that fallacy in action. So um, basically what I wanted to accomplish by making this video is to clear up what Hitchens said, because Craig didn't seem to get it, or he knew what he was talking about and just brushed over it. And it seems to be an argument that a lot of theists use, is to require evidence, to require an argument for atheism, um, as if we have to say something like atheism is true. But atheism is in fact saying that something else is false. So it's almost a non sequitur to say that something that's proving something to be false. Well, I don't want to use the word prove. To say that something is asserting that something else is false, to then say that it is true. It doesn't really work with semantics or with a philosophical method, like a Socratic method. So, that's what I think about it. So, leave your comments and maybe make a video response, and I'll see you later.